All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome the now three-time FedEx Cup champion, Rory McIlroy, to the Media Center here at the Tour Championship. Rory, it's been a memorable day at East Lake Golf Club, to say the least. Just some of your opening comments on this day.
Yeah. I got back out here today to finish my third round. I had 2 holes left and finished those the exact way I wanted to with 2 birdies, and thought I'd be, maybe 3-4 going into the final day, and then he reels off 4 birdies in the last 6 holes, and I'm 6 behind. So honestly, I wasn't really giving myself much of a chance teeing off in the 4th round. I thought, silver lining was I was playing in the last group, so I could at least keep an eye on what he was doing if things didn't quite work out for him. And, thankfully I was in that last group because, I was able to put some pressure on him early on. And then, that coupled with him not having his best stuff today, it was actually I felt like going into the back 9, not that it was mine to lose, but I had all the momentum and going out today, I was like, if I can get it within 3 going into the back 9, I thought that would be, a really good front 9 holes. And, I think we were tied for the lead on the 10th tee. So, incredible day, incredible week, 4 over through 2 holes, 10 shots out of the lead at that point to claw my way back and end up winning the tournament. Incredible. Just a real, really proud of my resilience and how I sort of handled that start, and just sort of stuck my head down and kept going all week and took advantage of the opportunity that I was given today.
All right, we will go right into questions. If you could just raise your hand, we'll get a microphone over to you. Go to Cam over here first. Yep.
Rory, could you speak a little bit about the comment about Tom Kim overcoming his quad start? And also, wasn't resilience sort of the story of your season with the 4 top 10s in the majors and no wins? I mean, wasn't this sort of a fitting way to win?
I thought so. I have to give Tom Kim a little bit of credit because, he started with a quad at Greensboro and ended up winning a few weeks ago. And, for whatever reason, that just sort of popped into my mind on Thursday. Look, I've said all along this year, this season felt very, very similar to 2019. I played great golf. I had some good wins, but, didn't pick off a major. But I felt like, Harry said it to me on the 18th green today. He goes, after, all the good golf you played this year, you deserve this. So, look, it's really cool to do something in golf that no one's ever done before. Obviously, the history of the FedEx Cup isn't as long as the history of some other tournaments, but to be walking out of here 3 times a champion, it's very, very satisfying and something that I'm incredibly proud of.
All right, let's go right here to Rex.
Rory, and I know you don't want to compare the 3 of them, they all mean something different, but given what this year has been like, just for you, not only competitively but off the golf course, does it hold any special meaning being able to do it here?
I think so. Look, it's been a tumultuous time for the world of men's professional golf in particular, and I've been right in the middle of it. I've picked a great time to go on the PGA Tour board. But yeah, I've been in the thick of things, and I guess every chance I get, I'm trying to defend what I feel is the best place to play elite professional golf in the world, and it's in some ways fitting that I was able to get this done today to sort of round off a year that has been very, very challenging and different, but they're all sort of different. It's been nice. Back in 2019, I took down the #1 player in the world in Brooks Koepka. This year, I took down the #1 player in the world, Scottie Scheffler. So I know that my best stuff is is good enough to win any tournament against anybody on any golf course. So, that's something I can take away from today.
Okay, just going right here to Doug.
And two things, Rory, and to kind of stay on that theme, and I know you've been asked this a ton, but is there any way that you could talk about if it's been some kind of a burden, even though it's coming out willingly? I mean, you get asked about it a lot. You're a 4-time major champion, a former world number 1, and people are looking at you as the guy who's the kind of the loudest voice. Does that wear on you after a while?
No, I don't think so, because if you believe in something, I think you have to speak up. And I believe very strongly about this. I really do. I hate what it's doing to the game of golf. I hate it. Like, I really do. I mean, like, it's going to be hard for me to stomach going to Wentworth in a couple of weeks' time and seeing 18 of them there. Like, it just doesn't sit right with me. So, yeah, I feel strongly. I believe what I'm saying are the right things, and I think when you believe that what you're saying is the right things, you're happy to stick your neck out on the line.
Do you get any sense that those who also believe strongly almost defer to you?
Yeah, in a way, I guess. Yeah, okay. I don't mind that though.
And apologies for dumbing down this conversation, but I did want to ask you about that chip on 16, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What were you hoping for, and what did you see when it was coming out?
Yeah, it came out a little hot and a little further left than I wanted it to. It actually, with whatever way the green was, it was obviously very lucky to hit the pin, but I thought I was certain that it was going to miss the hole on the left-hand side, but it just sort of, the green held it and it hit the pin, and obviously it ended up being closer than it would have. And but I took advantage of that little break with a good putt to make par there, and that was the first time in the whole tournament that I had I had the outright lead. Nice, on the 70th hole, it's a nice time to take the lead of a golf tournament. So, yeah. Or the 52nd hole if you play somewhere else. Yeah, so all good.
Right here to Ryan.
Rory, Scotty said that a lot of the emotion afterward was not because of the amount of money at stake, but because of the prestige and just because of the title. Having now won this 3 times, can you relate to that sentiment at all?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think Scotty Scheffler is going to win the Player of the Year. There's no doubt about that. Right, so it would have been fitting for him to end his breakout season with a FedEx Cup title. I think he deserves this maybe more than I deserve it. He played an unbelievable season. He didn't have his best stuff today, and I played well and took advantage of that. But Scotty will have plenty more chances to win FedEx Cups. So. Hell of a player, hell of a competitor, even better person. Love his family. It's hard. You don't really know what to say on the 18th green because he's had such a great year, and but he'll be back, and he's a great player. And I told him this certainly isn't the last time that we're going to have these battles on the golf course.
Maybe than other years, and how will you switch off? How will you celebrate and just totally get away from the game of golf?
Yeah, I have a whopping 1 week off coming up, and then I go to Europe for 3 out of 4 weeks, playing quite a bit over there. So, but maybe that's a little less intense than what we've just been through the last 3 weeks in the playoffs here. But yeah, I've got a little bit of downtime, sort of November, December, and I'm looking forward to that. But again, I think when you win and when you do things, it energizes you more than anything else. It makes you want to do it more, So, look, it's been a long few weeks, and I'm looking forward to, just chilling for a few days. But yeah, it gets you excited to get out there and play again because you're playing well, and you want to have this feeling more often.
that golf is a little more stable next year and that you can maybe get back to just focusing on tournaments?
Yeah, that would be lovely, and I think it probably will. I think after today, I'm not sure what I've been out on the golf course, and I don't really know what's been going on. But yeah, I think as well. Like I just need to, as much as I'm a willing participant in all of this, I sometimes do need to remove myself for the sake of my golf game, and I tried to do that. We had a board call on Tuesday morning here, and then had all the announcements up here on Wednesday. And then once that was over and done with, I was like, I just need to focus on playing good golf this week. So it's just trying to find that balance, and I was able to find it this week.
Okay, Frank.
You mentioned obviously a lot going on outside of the tour, obviously, and then coming into this final round, being down 7 strokes. What do you use to focus, to lock in, to make the kind of run that you did today?
Yeah. Again, as I said at the start, I didn't really give myself much of a chance going out in the final round there. My focus was to try to get within 3 of Scotty going into the back 9. That sort of happened pretty quickly, and then. I had a terrible shot into the first hole and made bogey, but didn't lose any ground because, Scotty 3-putted that first. So, it was sort of a slow start for both of us, but then I sort of kicked it into gear and made some nice birdies after that. And, as I said, I think, once I got to the back 9 and we were tied, then it's a different mindset. You have to reframe. You have to think about things a little differently. And, I played a good back 9. I didn't play a great back 9, but I held a couple of really crucial putts at the right time, especially that long one across the 15th green, and then getting that little stroke of luck on 16. And those are the sort of things that you need to happen to win golf tournaments, especially when you're starting the day 6 shots back.
Okay, Bob.
Rory, how did you avoid or did you have any kind of a hangover after the Open, and how do you pick yourself back up from that really in pretty short time, to try to have to focus on this again after that?
Yeah. So I took 2 weeks off from golf. After that, we went down to myself, Erica, and Poppy. We went down to London for 2 weeks. Spent 2 weeks in London after the Open, or around the London area. And I just sort of got away from it. There's nothing really you can do. I mean, you find yourself sitting there and thinking about it or thinking back on things. But I guess at that point, I started to get pretty involved with some of the plans that like Tiger and I were coming up with. So I was able to jump into something else that sort of took my mind off it as well. It was nice to have the family time, but it was also nice to stay busy and keep my mind active with other things as well.
Okay, Steve, go ahead. Over on the left.
Yeah, Roy, a couple quick questions. First, I think Scotty said the two of you had lunch together before going out. What do you discuss before you go out and play for $18 million?
We talked about the restaurants in Dubai. We were talking, Colin Morikawa and I were talking sort of about our schedules going forward, and Scotty sat down and we were just talking about Dubai at the end of the year and sort of just trying to describe the place to Scotty in a way. Trying to think what else we talked about. I don't know. I mean, anything but the golf and the money and we were just sitting there having a conversation, and we've seen a lot of each other this week. I mean, the physios we use are set up in the same room in the clubhouse, so we see each other in the getting treatment and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, that's one of the cool things about the game. You can sit down with a competitor before you go out to play and have a bite to eat and have a chat, and it's fine. It's actually it's quite refreshing.
And if you stop to think about the 2 Sundays you've had in Georgia this year and where you flipped the score, top of the scoreboard, how would you contrast the experiences? And
I I think similarly happy leaving both venues. I obviously didn't get the win at Augusta, but I played a great final round. And, as I said, it was one of the only Sunday evenings, driving back from Augusta National where I've had a smile on my face. I've driven away from East Lake quite a few times with a smile on my face. So, in a way, sort of similar, but I said to Scotty, we're 1-1 in Georgia. He got the one in April, and I got this one, and we'll do it all over again in a few months' time.
All right, Adam, right here.
Rory, at what point today did you sense that this wasn't going to be that Scotty was off his game?
Probably the 3-putt on one. I thought, that was, he left the first putt 6 feet short, and then he missed the one. I'd say that the putt on one, and then he hit a tee shot on 4 that just didn't seem like a Scotty Scheffler drive, and I guess those two sort of made me think that I probably had a chance after that.
And you've won from ahead, you've won from behind, but why do you think you thrive so well as the chaser?
Because I think probably out of everyone in the field, I care the least about the money. I'm probably it.
Brendan, go ahead.
Rory, you go back a few days ago, you're up here and you're part of a big presentation and you're being asked all these outside questions that have nothing to do about your game, and then you play and you go into today and it's, you said you don't feel like you have a chance, and then a few hours later you're on 18 green. I think to anyone here that seems like it would be a crazy whirlwind. To you, is that, I don't know, how do you describe kind of those 5 days?
So, yeah, in a way, it's my life. I don't really know any different. In all honesty, golf has been the escape for me. Over the last few weeks, it's been, I get inside the ropes, no one can get to me, and it's my escape from this other stuff that's going on. But yeah, I guess I'm able to switch on and off pretty well, and I can compartmentalize things, and whatever we're talking about with Scotty before we go out to play, I can leave it there and go and just try to focus on the task at hand. So I've had to learn that the hard way over the years too, but I've had a lot of experience, and this is my 15th year on tour, so I have a lot of good experiences, bad experiences, things to learn from, and I think just all of that combined helps me sort of navigate where we are right now.
And in a game that's so hyper individualistic, what's a summer been like when everyone's kind of in everyone else's business and wondering what you're doing, and it almost got tribal, if that's the right word?
Yeah, I think it has got a little tribal. I certainly have that feeling at times. It's been different. But in a way, there's been a great thing that's happened, and that's that the 20 whatever of us that met in that room in Delaware all committed, most of us, maybe 22 out of the 23, committed to each other and committed to, guys, what can we do to make the tour the best possible product so that we can all benefit? And I think that was a huge turning point in all of this. And I think all of us getting on the same page, look, there's opportunity in every challenge, and that was an opportunity for us to all get together. And as you said, it is so individual. It is so individualized, but how can we all sort of work together to move the thing forward?
All right, guys, we have time for a few more. We'll go Doug, and then up front here.
Rory, for someone who's accomplished what you have in golf, what's more valuable to you, the $18 million or having won that?
having won, I mean, there's a lot of cool things that come along with winning the FedEx Cup, the trophy. I have 3 sterling silver Calamity Jane replicas in my house, which is really cool. I mean, to think about here at East Lake and Bobby Jones, the greatest amateur player ever to play the game, the sort of history and the traditions of the game of golf. He sort of exemplified all of that. So, look, the money is the money. It's great, and we are professional golfers. We play golf for a living. We play, that is a part of it. But I think at this point in my career, the winning and the journey and the emotions and who I do it with mean more than the check.
And secondly, as it relates to Scotty, can you think back to 14 when you had a pretty decent year and came in as the top seed and had Player of the Year and didn't win the FedEx Cup? Did it feel like as big a letdown, and how soon did it take you to realize that you had a claret jug and a Wanamaker trophy and all that good stuff?
Yeah. It's harder at the time, I think, with the luxury of hindsight. And, I came in here number 1 seed in 2012, didn't win. Came in here number 1 seed in 2014, didn't win. But the more times, like Jack Nicklaus won 18 major championships, but he's had 37 seconds and thirds. So the more times you just put yourself in the position, the law of averages suggests that you're going to get it done at some point. And that's sort of what I've done in this tournament. I've just put myself in position each and every year, and whenever you'll take your opportunity. Some years you won't, but if you just keep putting yourself there, you're bound to end up with a few of them.
I'm just going to go up front right here.
Rory, you had that great moment with Poppy at the PGA Championship where you told her, hey, that's when Daddy was good. And then since then you've won twice, and obviously a lot of other things this season. Do you think you can look at her and be like, hey, I think Daddy's good again?
Yeah, I think Daddy was still good at that point, but maybe a little better now than he was a few months ago. But yeah, look, I want my daughter to see me play well and win golf tournaments, and I want to be the best version of myself in front of her. And there's a part of that's being a father and being a husband, but it's also being a golfer is a huge part of my life. So I want her to be proud of who I am as a golfer too. So look, there was truth in that statement, but she probably just went to bed now, so I'll see her in the morning. But it's cool to be able to do these things and celebrate it with them, and make it known that they're part of the journey and they're so valuable to all of this as well.
All right, last one with Flo here in the way back there, Rory.
Rory, remember the last time you won that trophy in 2019? You weren't able to celebrate that properly because you needed to hop on a plane going to Switzerland in order to play the tournament there. You were just talking about celebration. Can you share some thoughts how you want to celebrate this third trophy tonight? Maybe you double it because you couldn't do it last time properly?
Maybe tomorrow when we get home. We'll stay here tonight in Atlanta. It'll probably be a quiet night, but I had a conversation with Shane Lowry yesterday, and it's Poppy's birthday on Wednesday, and his kids are going to come around our house for Poppy's birthday, and he said, "I'll see you next week, and we can celebrate with the FedEx Cup." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." It was 8 back at the time. I was like, "Yeah, I'll just see you next week." And then, lo and behold, so we might find a few really nice bottles of red wine tomorrow night in my wine cellar and open them up and have a good time.
Shane definitely knows how to celebrate this. Remember
he does. He'll lead me in the right direction.
All right, Rory. Well, thank you for the time and congratulations again.
Thank you.